Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me, funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
And she's joining us right now to talk about The Bad Orphan, which premieres this Saturday, June 22nd at 7 Central on Lifetime. Betsy is here with us right now. Betsy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Look, okay, congratulations on The Bad Orphan. Again, it premieres this Saturday. For people who might not have seen the trailer or any snippets or clips of it, tell us a little bit about what the movie is.
Oh my gosh, I should have been prepared to do that. Listen, this couple, they are the perfect couple, perfect family. They have this, fantastic teenage daughter, and they decide to adopt a child, and everything seems really great, and then maybe not so much, and before they know it, the rug is just pulled out from under them.
And again, this is a movie that you star in as well as you produce. And I want to ask a question about the production here in just a second. But what is the appeal? I always think for someone who has had such a great career as you did, I feel like you almost can pick and choose. I'm sure you get a lot of options that come by your desk. What was it about this one that made you go, oh, you know what? I really want to get into the weeds on this project?
It was something that I'd never done a story like this before, and so that was really interesting to me. And I also just was, it was that part of it that, things aren't what they seem. And so to get to play this character and then, things kind of quietly unravel for her, that was really attractive to me to do. And I also just thought, that the story was fascinating to me. Just the concept that, this couple adopts this kid and they, think, it's just going to be this perfect scenario, and nothing's ever perfect, but this ends up being so far from it.
Now, when you have this script and it comes by your desk, how do you get involved in the production side, the executive producing side of it?
It's funny. It's never the same. Like there's when sometimes you audition and then you audition again and then but now it's like it's kind of different. Like the script was already written. It came to my team and my manager, who I've worked with forever, and I love and adore and really respect. She said, when you read the script, you're going to want to do it. And I did. I was really, really excited about this story and loved that Lifetime wanted to tell it. And so it was incredibly fun to team up with them. They, had done, like, we shot the show in Calgary, in Canada, and they had done, it was ready to go, and I stepped into it. But it's really fun. It's amazing to, be in something and be able to, have some sway in how it goes and how you shoot it. And, I'm not new. I've been doing this for a while. So
Sure.
it's you pick stuff up along the way. And, I learned from the best of the best, like watching, for six years and then some, I got to watch Vince Gilligan run a show. And that's amazing. Like, I hadn't even lived in LA all that long. And to get to step on set and watch Cranston, what he does in rehearsal, and it's really, you can take all the classes in the world, but for me, that's the best way to learn, is just to do it.
So just to follow up on that, when you say to watch Cranston in rehearsal, what exactly are you referring to? His technique, or the way that he helped break the scene down, or what exactly?
All of it, and it's like every different scenes, you're gonna have to do different things and go about it different ways, and you figure it out. And it was that on Bad Orphan we did this because there's some big twists and turns, and our director Michelle Willette was amazing, and our producer was fantastic. We would be like, okay, this is a plot twist. What do we need to do to earn this? What do we need to do so that this, it's real? And it's because the more honest it is, to me, the more exciting it is to watch. And so we were just really, cognizant of that in how we handled it. And I have to tell you, when I saw the movie, and I'm so hard on myself when I watch something, but I was really happy with it. So I'm like, okay, this must be good. If I like it, it must be good. So it was, it's definitely, listen, I'm not out there alone either. Like, I'm on screen a lot in this, but I'm so not out there alone. The cast was amazing. The creative, the crew was fantastic. It was, it takes a village to make anything like this. Breaking Bad too, I always called it a team sport. Like, there's no way you shoot a show like that in New Mexico. Man, we had some amazingly tough days on that show. Just the conditions that, that you have to shoot under. But it's everything. I did a CBS comedy for 4 seasons. And there were days we were shooting in LA outside. It was so hot. The camera crew would have to take breaks because the cameras were overheating. So the people holding them are overheating too. It's not for wusses, this business. But I love what I do. Like, we all, we love what we do, and it's amazing that we get to do it. So, you kind of just throw your whole self in, and I also really, really, really wanted anything I do. I want to be proud of it. I want everybody working on it to feel good about what we're doing. That's incredibly important to me, and we had that on this. And the more you have that, the more the better work you get, and the happier everybody is on set. It's just a fact.
Well, I think something, whether it's with, like you said, the Bad Orphan again, which premieres this Saturday on Lifetime at 7 Central here in Texas. But whether it's something like this or Breaking Bad or the other projects you worked on, you're absolutely right. It's such a collaborative effort, and everybody has to think singularly and act collectively for these things to be successful.
Yeah.
And have a unified vision. Yeah, go ahead.
Think singularly, act collectively. That's good. That's going to be my next tattoo.
It's yours.
Long.
It's yours. I like it.
Long. That's going to have to go on my back. It's long. It's long. I'm going to need some geography. That's long.
Yeah. You got a lot of verbiage there. A few vowels that you'll have to buy for sure. But to me, when you're on a set like this one, let's talk about the Bad Orphan still, is you say that it felt like this collaboration from the executive producer role. What all do you have your hand in? Do you have your hand in casting, scripting? I mean, exactly what is it that your role was? Or is it kind of like an overseer? Someone comes to you with an idea and you say, oh, I like that, I don't like that.
Right. I mean, there's other things that I'm executive producing, developing right now. So I'm in from the beginning, and you make decisions on all sorts of things. This was already cast before I came into it. Because, frankly, I have to tell you, Chloe Coco Chapman, who plays my adopted daughter in this show, they had to have her. We had to have her, or the movie was not going to happen. It just, I told Mark Taylor, who plays my husband and who's fantastic in this, I said, they could replace either of us easily. A lot of actors could play this, but the show doesn't happen without her because that role is so specific. And so you need someone who is talented. You need someone who has, is very, is charismatic and carries that on screen. And then there also has to be a likable quality about her, which Chloe has. And so, we were just incredibly lucky. It could not have happened without her. So casting was already in place. And then, you get to, it's always a conversation about, what are we looking for in this scene? What do we want? What's important? And when, you're a producer, you get to be part of that, which is thrilling to me.
Now, you mentioned earlier, you're in this movie a lot. You're on screen. When you saw the film, you really enjoyed it, but you're normally critical of your work. I think that anybody who puts themselves on camera or even on tape or what have you, or even writes something, is very critical of themselves, and they see things that no one else does. But I'm sure after a while, you have to find some sort of mechanism to try to turn that side of your brain off, right? When you're watching something and try to look at it from the viewer's perspective instead of your own, or is that difficult to do?
It gets easier, and I've been doing this for a minute, so
Sure.
You figure out how to do this, and you just have to. I love what I do. That comes first. I remember a young actor I was working with on a show, played my son. He was like, "I'm not going to watch my show. I'm not going to watch the show. I'm not going to watch myself." I said, "You have to, because you haven't been doing this long enough. You have to do it because that's how you know what it feels like when you shoot it. You have to see what it looks like, because then you put it together, what it looks like, what it feels like. You can do that math and know what you're going to do on screen and what you're doing when you're shooting. You have to. That's how you get better at what you do. You're going to have to put your big boy pants on and watch yourself and figure out how you're going to do that. Now, listen, there's some things, like on Breaking Bad, there were scenes I didn't watch because it was just upsetting to me to watch it. And I get that it's pretend. I get it. I get that Dean Norris is fine and healthy. And I just was, texting with him yesterday. But for me, because I was so close to it when I played Marie, and I was so in love with his character, it hurt me. It hurt me to watch him, when he was shot. It killed me. And so I didn't, it just raised my blood pressure, even though, again, I know it's pretend. I'm aware. I'm aware. But it's like, it's just kind of a reaction. You can't help it. Like, there are things that I will watch. There are moments when I watched Bad Orphan, and I was in it. I know what's going to happen. I cried because there are things my character goes through, and I feel for her. And so it's, to me, that's when I know I've been effective, that it's been good. Like, what you really want to do is take the audience on the ride that you went on and that you're going on. And so it should be thrilling. It should, you want it to have everything. You want them to relate to them. You want the audience to be surprised. And so I feel like this movie, that was there in the script, and then we were able to do it and put it on screen.
Again, The Bad Orphan premieres on Saturday, June 22nd on Lifetime at 7 Central. Betsy, a couple weeks ago, I got to meet Michael J. Fox for the very first time, and I was very excited about it.
Oh, my God, you're so lucky. Isn't he just the best?
He's incredible. And I loved the Michael J. Fox show. I remember when it came out, I watched every single episode that aired of it, and I really thought it was a great concept and a fun show. What was your experience like working on that, working with Michael J. Fox, who I hear people say about him, he's the ultimate number one on the call sheet, meaning he's just such a magnanimous guy and a giving guy. What was your experience with him?
Amazing. There's a reason we feel the way about Michael J. Fox that we do. And, I went into that. Listen, I grew up on Family Ties. Like, I was a kid, and I was really young, and I have older siblings, and I would watch that show, and so it was, kind of crazy for me at first. But Mike and I had great chemistry, and, I will love him forever. Like, there's, once you meet him and get to know him, you will always be in the fan club. He's so smart. He's so funny. Like, that's how you do it. You watch that guy. I mean, what a big presence. And, you know, it's also amazing to watch how he is with other people. And he's Canadian. I'm from Michigan. I got him. Like, we speak the same language. And, you know, like, he works really hard. He's really kind to everybody. And I'm all for that. But he is honestly one of the smartest and funniest people and kindest people that I ever met. That combination, I mean, he's a really good-looking guy, but even if he wasn't, he's just like, you know, people would just line up to marry that dude. Like, it really is. He's just phenomenal. And we had a lot of fun shooting that show. We laughed a lot, you know, in between takes, and had a great time. And I'm so happy that you watched it. I loved it too. I absolutely loved it. I loved it.
I thought it was a great concept, and the way they laid everything out. And again, I really enjoyed the show, and I enjoyed you in it. And I'm sure I'm going to enjoy you in The Bad Orphan, as will everybody. It premieres again this Saturday on Lifetime. Betsy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us this morning. It was a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, such a pleasure to talk to you.